Well, I got the woodwind bug a couple years ago. Decided I wanted to learn to play a little something. I always wanted to play the oboe. I like oboes. I could probably get one for $1,000, $2,000, and yeah, okay. How about a clarinet? Clarinets are cheap, right? So I found this one on the internet. It was about $40, and the case is solid wood. The covering is canvas filled with paint. This is kind of old school technology. I don't think they've made this since 1960. And the instrument inside would be equally old, but looks pretty, doesn't it? So this is the Champion. It's a stencil, basically. Somebody makes them, and then the stores buy them and put their name on it. And this one, best I can tell, Champion may or may not most likely be the Champion, the Grossman Musical Instrument Company. They sold instruments under the name Champion, and they're most famous now for the Grover Champion metal friction pegs for your cheap guitars. So this piece of cork here that held the bell on, half of that was gone, and the bell kept trying to fall off. So I bought some cork, and I learned how to put that on and sand it down and make it fit. So that goes together now. It's a little stiff still, but overall it's not bad. But anyway, this is one clarinet. Now, after doing that, I never did get around to replacing the other corks, so it basically just sat being neglected until I said, let's get serious about this. I get another instrument, keep that at home, and keep the Champion in the shop where I work, and I can play that at evenings after everybody goes home, when there's nobody to bother. So I got a Selmer Bundy for $45 plus $25 shipping and handling. So $30 shipping and handling, something like that. This looks about like this. This is a good quality entry-level beginner's instrument, and it's got a flyer on how to take care of your grenadilla wood. Now, somebody told me that the Selmer Bundy was never made in Grenadilla, but they didn't tell Bundy because it says Selmer Bundy, and the shop where I took it to be looked at says that's wood, all right. So it's a really good quality Selmer Bundy, and as a result, I'm a little afraid to work on it because I don't want to damage the wood. So these two pads basically fell out as soon as I opened them. So right here. So I took it in, and they said, yeah, it's going to take 4 pads to put it in playable condition, and that cork here is this was weak, and it wobbled. Now, there it is. And it wobbled, so that cork had to be replaced. But $65, and the whole thing's all back together again and in playable condition. So I thought that was a good deal. So they kind of finished putting these together, and I'll give you a sample here. Okay. Now, the Champion, this is the first one I bought, you know, so it has a certain sentimental appeal, you know, because it's the first one I bought. I want it to be right. I want it to work. So I keep playing with it, but it sounds kind of like this right now. Yeah, it needs work. One of the things that needs work here, you know, that's kind of buzzy sound. That's this key right here, the pad is not actually connected to the key. It's just sort of floating there, and the surrounding hardware doesn't let it fall out. So, you know, it's never quite entirely open. The hole is never quite entirely closed. It's just sort of fluttering, and you can tell that it's not right. So it needs new pads. Now, the Selmer, my Bundy, I took that to the shop, and they looked at it, and they said, yeah, it's gonna take 4 pads. This cork has to be replaced, and some of the bumpers are gonna be changed and regulated, and it'll play so much nicer when it's done. And it sounds kind of like this. Now that's clean. That's nice. I like that. It's easier to play. It blows cleaner. There's less resistance. It doesn't squeak as badly. It's got every virtue, you know. It's just the Selmer Bundy has a very good reputation as a beginner's instrument, and it's not letting me down, I will say. So this is going to be my main instrument for a while, and the Champion is going to be an experimental device. I'm going to learn how to repad the clarinet and other jobs like that. You know, just generally fix it up myself. Oh yeah, and now that I have the clarinets and I don't need the oboe anymore, I ran across one for $150 that has just been in the shop and come out in playable condition. This is the Bisher Aristocrat, which is the entry level. Very entry level. There are certain keys you have to play the oboe properly. One is the keys here that work this hole here. Well, this hole is basically, you pinch it between your knees when you're sitting in a chair. This is the very beginnest of beginner instruments. In 6 months you'll have to buy another one. So I'm going to keep it because I'm not going to be a professional oboist, but I do want to play with it. Bust an eardrum in a closed space, you betcha. So I'm learning how to play woodwinds and having a considerable amount of fun. And we'll get on to the next step. Trying to make the oboe sound like an oboe rather than a strangled duck. That'd be the first step.